Welcome to April's selection of games. There are a good mix of genres this month, so hopefully there is something to please all tastes. Up first for this month we have GrimQuest, a game developed by one person as an homage to old school RPGs. The title is attempting to mix together tabletop RPG adventure vibes, dungeon crawling, and roguelike mechanics in the hope of creating something a bit fresh. With a sort of black and white art style, melancholy music, and a fair amount of text, GrimQuest is going for a somber style which gives the title something of a unique look. GrimQuest comes to Steam April 1st. Next we have Ash and Rust. This title is a bit of a flyer as it's an action RPG, and those types of games have a bit of a spotty history in the indie space and can often be a bit of a mess. Developed by a one-person team, the game promises all the usual such as exciting combat, a plethora of skills and loads of loot. Considering the way these games can go, maybe one to keep an eye on as it moves through early access. Ash and Rust comes to Steam Early Access April 1st. Split is a first-person puzzle game that takes its influences from the Talos Principle and Portal, among others. The game is going for a futuristic look, with brutalism references being an influence on the level design, and from the trailer, in terms of visuals, it looks like a cross between Tron and Control. Gameplay-wise, you are manipulating time and creating copies of yourself in order to solve puzzles. As a big fan of first-person puzzle games, I'm interested in seeing how Split turns out. Split launches into early access on Steam April 6th.
The attack came suddenly.
The next game this month is a title that has been on my radar for a while, and ever since I played the demo over a year ago, I've been looking forward to it coming out. Chinatown Detective Agency is a noir point-and-click adventure game set in a cyberpunk future. The big hook for this game is that the player has to use real-world research to solve cases, which sounds neat, but obviously comes with potential pitfalls considering how the internet works. As for the rest of the game, the writing seems good and the world and characters well constructed. If you are able to carry out the internet searching without ruining the game for yourself, this title could be something rather special. Chinatown Detective Agency comes to Steam, Switch, Xbox One and Xbox Game Pass April 7th.
For a simple job, to help a friend discreetly offload some valuable goods. But in the Lion City, things are rarely as simple as they seem.
Ms. Dharma, a pleasure to meet you.
Then we have Kiran Iyer, a by-the-books Ministry of Trade and Industry official, gunning to expose the corruption within his sector, and he needs my help to do it. The question is, just how deep does this corruption run, and how far are they willing to go to keep it under wraps? In a place like Singapore, where every shadow hides a secret, the only thing standing between the city and chaos is me, Amira Dharma. gather your wit and moxie and join me to solve the mysteries of Chinatown Detective Agency.
Ghostlore describes itself as East Punk and is an action RPG. The game takes inspiration from Southeast Asian folklore when it comes to enemy design, and the levels are heavily based on the developer's home country of Singapore and also Malaysia and Indonesia. This gives the game a unique look, as not many titles take inspiration from that part of the world. The developers say that the game will allow players to experience a culture that they are perhaps not that familiar with. Outside of the inspiration, the game promises your usual action RPG staples such as classes, loot, procedurally generated levels, and sports an isometric viewpoint similar to classics of the genre. Find out if Ghostlore has the chops to fight it out with the best when it launches into Steam Early Access April 14th. Changing pace a little, our next title asks you to travel to the sleepy village of Catawal Way and rebuild your grandmother's cat cafe. In Cat Cafe Manager, you need to transform your cafe from a run-down and abandoned place into an inviting and impressive eatery. Run the cafe well by hiring and training staff and decorating in order to entice various different cats to make the cafe their home. Get to know these cats and the townsfolk in order to unlock clues and eventually learn the secrets of Catawal Way. Cat Cafe Manager appears to be mixing a tycoon game with a lifestyle sim, kind of a cross between Animal Crossing and Theme Park. Cat Cafe Manager arrives on Steam April 14th.
Is all we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Let's just say that in search of a greater heaven, I found a lower hell.
After the disappointment of Abermore, which turned out to be a bit of a buggy mess, maybe we will have better luck this month with another Thief-like game. Say hello to Winter Ember, a third-person immersive stealth action game that tasks you with exploring the Victorian town of Anagal and uncovering the mystery that tore your family apart. Much like Thief, it has a deep arrow system with over 30 different types of arrows available for crafting, as well as a skill tree with 70 passive and active skills to unlock. Winter Ember promises that you can tackle missions and scenarios in a variety of ways, so it's saying all the right things, but can it follow through? Find out when Winter Ember releases on Good Old Games, PlayStation 4 and 5, Steam, Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, April 14th. Iron Oath is another game I have had my eye on for a while, but unlike Chinatown Detective Agency, I was a little underwhelmed with the demo. The difficulty in particular seemed pitched a little too high. The game is a turn-based tactical RPG where you recruit a party and make your way across an overworld map before venturing into dungeons. These dungeons play out a bit like those in Darkest Dungeon, only with battles taking place on a hex-based grid rather than in line. Members of your party will age, retire and die as you build your outfit across decades with the world changing around you. The pixel art is what first drew me to the game, and it remains a stellar example of that particular art style, and it is paired with some top-notch animations. I still have high hopes for this game, despite my reservations around the difficulty. Iron Oath releases into Steam Early Access April 19th.
We endure the pain. We pay in blood. We suffer loss. Yet still we take up sword and shield and greet the next sunrise with the fire of our resolve. We live, we die, and we prosper by the Iron Oath.
Our penultimate game for April is Skábma Snowfal, in which you play Ailu, a Sami herder searching for a runaway reindeer doe. The game is based on the Sami, an indigenous Nordic peoples who inhabit Sapmi, formerly known as Lapland, and is meant to provide a window into their stories and culture. The gameplay revolves around solving environmental puzzles and platforming challenges using the 4 spirits that you unlock as the game progresses. The game looks quite pretty, and it is always nice to see representation of different cultures in video games. Skábma Snowfal comes to Steam April 22nd.
Tiedälle. Defi niin.
Finally for this month, we have the Serpent Rogue, an action-adventure game set within a medieval fantasy world. The hook here is that you are an alchemist, and as such, have to master the art of alchemy in your quest to confront the Serpent Rogue and stop the spread of evil. There seems to be a fair amount of creativity in the potion mechanic, as you can mix any ingredients together to create unique potions, and you can even create ones that allow you to shapeshift into different characters. You must be mindful of your actions, as what you do will create interesting sequences of cause and effect, such as hoarding too many items in one place will attract plague-spreading vermin. The potion mechanic looks like it could create a game that is quite different to the usual get weapon, hit thing that most action-adventure games employ. The Serpent Rogue comes to PlayStation 5, Steam, Switch and Xbox Series X and S April 26.